What up, what up? This is your boy Cheko.
This is your boy Noe. What up?
And this is Compas Unfiltered. Thank you guys for listening, for watching. Make sure you guys follow all of our social media, subscribe and like.
And make sure you go rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Make sure you drop a comment on YouTube. Like and subscribe.
Yes, sir. Enjoy the episode.
Fierro.
So we just recorded a pod the other day, and it was like con el compa Sammy, compa Jose. That one's going to be audio only. I mean, it's still available on YouTube, pero I had some like lighting issues, and it was my fault, right? Porque even Sammy told me, he's like, hey, prendo esta luz o lo que sea, and I was like, nah, we're good. And I didn't take into consideration fucking sunset, la chingada, right?
Yeah, that it was going to get dark outside. Yeah. I don't even think it was your fault, dude. It's just, I mean, you probably didn't even think it was going to get dark that fast, you know?
Nah.
Well, like, we literally went in for a little bit, so se nos llegó la noche, compa, y
yes, sir.
Yeah, so that was it. I mean, it ain't no big deal.
No, it's not a big deal, pero ahí, mil disculpas al compa Sammy, al compa Jose, that I wasn't able to put up video. I mean, but the pod's going to be out. It should already be out by the time you guys hear this episode.
For sure.
And if I'm ranting, it's because I'm nervous as fuck. This topic is fucking... It's hard for me to talk to. This is probably going to be one of the hardest pods, bro, for me to have or do as an episode. Mm-hmm. Shit, if it's that fucking hard, I don't even know if I'll release it. But throughout the day, bro, I was just thinking about it, fucking getting anxiety, la chingada. Like, man, what's the proper way to fucking tell my story? And there really isn't a way to do it. But I mean, aquí estamos, and we're just gonna fucking get into it, bro.
Que es pa' que la hago larga, compa.
Yeah.
And just I'm gonna tell you what you tell me, bro. It's coming out. Like, if we do it, it's coming out. That's exactly what you tell me every time, bro. Like, nah, bro. Like,
that's
va a salir, güey.
That's true. I always say that too. Like, fuck that shit. Nah, we already recorded. Vámonos.
Like, it's coming.
That's just being released. Yeah. So, all right. So originally we had this planned con un compa, and I think it would have definitely helped, just because he would have had more feedback, and he even told me like that he had numbers together and everything, and he's an RN, so he was like, I had numbers, I had this, like, you know, the percentage of people that go through this and whatnot. So it definitely would have been more educational in a way. And this taboo, I guess, of a topic, I'm gonna just start off by saying, I guess, a little bit of how I kind of grew up and whatnot, because I think we have this, I don't even know what's the proper word, I guess, like stigma, or I don't know, but point is that like these type of issues is not for Latinos. Latinos don't go through this at all. The whole man up, amárrate un huevo. And I guess I kind of grew up that way. But I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, pretty much, you know. You fucking bust your shit, lo que sea. You're, hey, amárrate, güey. Cálmate, you know, fucking. Los hombres no lloran. Los niños no lloran, you know.
Is that the wrong way to be like?
I don't know, bro. The thing is, like, I feel like it also kind of toughens you up, too.
Yeah, pero, I definitely am that parent, bro. Like, that does that. You know what I mean?
Like, you tell them the boys don't cry, or
not that necessarily the boys don't cry, but like if he falls, bro, and I see that he's okay, you know, like I don't try to baby him though. You know what I mean? Or like even if it's like a little bit of blood or whatever. I forgot if it was sociology or psychology, bro. The teacher's like, the child doesn't know. So if they cut themselves or they fall and they scrape themselves, the child doesn't know how to react. They kind of react based on...
Off of your reaction.
Yes, off your reaction. So I kind of always remember that. So my wife is always the one that like, lo levanta and let me hold you. Which is a mom instinct anyways, right? Instinct, right? Y yo no. And she's like, bro, like, sometimes she's like, man, you're an asshole for that. Like, you know what I mean? She looks at me like, bro, like, what? I'm like...
She wants you to baby him.
Yeah. When he's falling off his bike and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey... You're gonna keep writing? Yeah. All right. Well, then stop crying, get up, and let's go. Like you're fine. You know, I know it hurts, but you're gonna be straight or whatever. Any situation, but I'm usually like, nah. You know, like
Yeah.
you're fine. Especially if they're fine. I mean, obviously, si está grave la cosa, pues sí.
No, yeah,
Se
yeah.
espanta uno y hey, qué onda, you know. But for the most part, bro, las caídas, pues, and they're gonna, like I tell my wife, they're gonna continue to fall and things are gonna happen. So like you can't baby them for every little thing because there's gonna be that one thing that maybe like you do need to be there, and then they're gonna be like, all right, like he's here, you know.
For
and
sure.
like you said, you toughen them up, and or they kind of learn that you know life ain't easy.
For sure.
But anyways, didn't want to rant, bro. But
No,
I was wondering what you thought. Like, damn, am I doing wrong?
No. That's what I'm saying. Like in a way, like it toughens you up. Like it toughens me up. It toughened me up. But more so, I tried to commit suicide. I attempted. So I mean, just to like get right to it.
And for everybody listening, this is something that, as a friend of a long time, we've touched this conversation maybe once or twice, and I don't think I was brave enough to like go deep into it with you tampoco. You know, like I respected the fact that you consider me close enough to open up and mention it, but at the same time, I kind of like put that boundary, like I didn't want to ask questions or like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. So for everybody listening, like, this is gonna be my first time like hearing his full story, his full truth, his you know whatever you want to call it, because I honestly don't know everything behind what went on. That you know.
Yeah. Well, to start off, it was it's something that they would ask, you know, when I was psych unit. You know, like how's home, how's everything, like are my parents abusive, you know, the whole nine. And honestly, I mean, yeah, my parents hit me. You know the fuck we survived la pinche chancla. Pero it never went like how I hear other stories, you know, that like, you know, unfortunately you hear other, you know, stuff in the news and there's a kid who like barely makes it alive or even passes away from las putizas que les dan. It was never like that, bro, for me.
You had two loving parents.
Yeah, of course. And definitely my parents argued, I think like any other couple does. From what I remember and from what I know, like my dad never laid a hand on my mom, you know? So I also didn't come from that where it's like, oh, well, you probably got traumatized, you know, this and this, all this variables, everything, you know, that's what took into a place. That's why you did this. But no, like during the time that I was going through this, I guess, I don't know, maybe it was depression. I don't know. After that happened, that event happened, I never asked questions. I never tried to talk about it anymore. But basically what happened was, and sorry to my cousin, at the time she was staying with us, and I've always been like an overprotective brother, you know, even with my sisters and just like my family in general. Pero lo que pasó esa noche, some dude called the crib. I don't know who he was trying to talk to, but apparently he was trying to talk to my cousin. And, you know, I got fucking cheko, like, ¿quién es, güey? You know,
Cheko syndrome?
Yeah, you know, who the fuck are you? And all that type of shit. And I got loud or whatever. Dude hung up, I hung up. And then I went up to my sisters, I think it was, like, yo, like, who the fuck is calling? Who the fuck is John? Whoever the fuck, right? I don't even remember the name. And, you know, they obviously didn't want to rat out my cousin, like, oh, it's for her, not for you, or like, not for us, you know, whatever. But ended up like, you know, yeah, it's for me or whatever. That happened that night. It had nothing to do with why I attempted suicide. It had actually been just accumulating pressure. At the time, fucking captain of my soccer team, AB student for the most part, right? I mean, there was nothing where you could really say, like, I guess if you're from the outside looking in, you're like, this dude's fucking normal. He's happy. He's fucking captain of his soccer team. His grades are decent. You know, whatever. Like normal. I was 15 at the time. But I always had this in my head where it was like, I'm never good enough, bro.
For who? For you or for your parents? Or
for my parents, for society, I guess. You know, it was like never My grades are never good enough. Like, I'm not good enough to go to Harvard. Soccer player, like, yeah, I was captain of my soccer team, but I was never going to be fucking Messi. You know what I mean? Like, I was never, everything I did was just never, ever fucking good enough. And it's like, man, where the fuck do I fit in? Like, what the fuck do, you know? And it just accumulated, bro. Like I said, that, and then seeing my parents argue time to time. And it was also kind of like, so this specifically what happened one time, and I don't exactly remember, but it was something like, hey, Ma, can I go sleep over at my cousin's house? My dad, oh, well, go ask your dad. You know, the whole thing, that whole go back and forth or whatever. I don't know. Let's say my dad said yeah, but my mom really wanted him to say no. So then they got into an argument. So then I'm looking at it like, fuck, did I just make them fight?
So you would take that blame.
I would take the blame and the guilt. Like, damn, they're arguing, they're fighting because of me. Like, I caused that. And I guess, like, growing up, it was always like, fuck, like, I don't want to make them fight. Like, it's like they're always fighting because of me. They're like, I'm always the one fucking up. Like, I guess that's the way I saw it. So everything just kind of built up, like pressure from everything, bro. It was like at the time it was like homecoming or some shit like that. Fucking, you know, just grades in general. Fucking being, you know, captain or whatever the fuck. Like I just had high school shit going on. De que se me hizo mucho. So that night I took a bottle of pills, bro. I don't know, something like fucking 30, 40 pills.
What kind of pills?
I don't even remember.
But it was crazy. Like it was happening.
It was happening, bro. So I took those pills and I didn't tell my parents anything. Like, no les dije nada. I just fucking took them, went to bed. The pain was so fucking bad, like stomach pain. Ya no me aguantaba. Like I couldn't take it anymore. So I got up and then I told my mom at the time. My dad was working like third shift. So I told my mom, like, you know what? I fucked up. This is what I did. Like, now I just, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I fucking feel like shit. So my mom, worried, bro, calls my dad. My dad rushes home from work. You know, the whole nine. They rushed me to the hospital. And then at the hospital, they're like, what happened? What did you do? This is what I did. Why would you do that? Like, me estaba regañando, güey. And I was just kind of like, fuck, like, I don't fucking know. They're like, what were your intentions? I'm like, I don't even want to be here anymore. That's what I told the nurse. So she's like, well, she's like, that was really bad of you, and just kind of lecturing me. I had to drink this like black charcoal drink, bro. Disgusting. Like, you have to drink this and it's gonna make you throw up. It's gonna basically throw out all the pills that I had just taken. If you don't take it, we're gonna have to pump your stomach. No, it was forcefully. I took it, bro. Like, I took the drink or whatever. I threw everything up. At that point, I was kind of like, you know what? I'm relieved. I fucked up, but hopefully my parents can forgive me and we can move on from this. Like, I'm gonna go home.
That's not the way it worked out.
That's not the way it goes, bro. 72 hours minimum once you attempt to commit suicide.
And here's a question for you before we keep going, bro. With drinking all those pills, how long before like you had that stomach ache? Do you kind of remember that, or is it too vague?
A couple hours.
So it took some time before you were like, whenever you took those pills, bro, and you went and lay down. Like, what were your thoughts behind that? You thought it was just gonna be like an easy process, like, hey, I'm gonna take these pills, I'm gonna go to sleep, and I'm probably not gonna wake up.
Yep, that's exactly what I thought. I'm gonna take these pills, and I'm just not gonna wake up, and all the problems are gonna go away.
Did you leave a note?
No,
not that way. So they would have never. I mean, if
they would have just, if it would have happened, I guess the way I thought it would have, they would have just found me. They probably would have gotten up the next day, try to wake me up to go to school or whatever, and I would have been out.
Well, thank God that didn't happen, brother. I'm glad you're here, bro. So you didn't go as you planned. You end up 72 hours in the psych ward. Yep. What was that like, bro?
Fucking crazy, bro. Like, we had an episode with that we did mental health with Jane.
Yeah. One of my
And
favorite episodes, man.
With her off the pod, I talked to her about my experience. You know, like she talked about not completely her experience about when she tried to commit suicide, but she did mention it on the pod.
Right, right.
But outside the pod, we got into a conversation of what she went through, how everything went for her. And as I'm telling her my story, she's telling me, like, you did 72 hours. She's like, but they didn't send you to I mean, because I'm still considered adolescent. That's the word. She's like, they were supposed to send you for like an adolescent psych unit. And I'm like, nah, like I was in there with like dudes that were like 30 something, 40, 60 years old. She was like, what the fuck? Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, that's fucked up because
that's even worse, probably.
That's even worse. Put it like this, to describe it to you guys, and I'm sorry if I'm like not doing justice and I'm not explaining myself properly, but the only way I could describe it is imagine a horror movie. Like, whatever horror movie that fucking scares the shit out of you, like times 10 or 100, if you have one. I'm talking about, I had a room, no doors, a bathroom, no doors, and I had a roommate, and he was 30s and his 40s or whatever the fuck. And while I was there, he was trying to hang himself. So I'm trying to sleep. He's trying to hang himself. People are rushing in. Which was, that in itself was like fucking crazy. Like seeing a body hanging.
There was stuff for them to be able to hang themselves?
Las sábanas.
Oh, he was trying to do it like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was a lot of stuff that went on. One of the things for sure, it was this one lady, bro, like, you know, and they give you those hospital gowns. So basically it was like this, fuck, man, I guess if you want to describe it, it's like La Llorona or some shit. But what she would do is, en la mañana, dormía todo el día. But en la noche, she was up, bro. She was awake.
Walking around or what?
Walking around. She'll run into your room and then run right out. That's scary as fuck, bro. Like,
at 15 years old, bro.
At 15.
After the I don't even know if you could call it like the trauma that you went through or like everything that's going on in your mind, bro.
Oh, yeah. Like, it fucked me up for sure. So she ran in. She would scream. She would yell and then run right out. Like, I was like, get Bill. Like, what the fuck? Like,
at any point, bro, where you like find yourself just crying in bed, bro? Like crying yourself to sleep, bro?
Every night, bro. Every night. That's how like bad, and that's just how bad and fucked up it was. I mean, I saw people get strapped down. I think the one that kind of fucked me up the most was I had to like walk down the aisle of the place, of the facility, and all the lights are off, bro. And you only have like one light every few rooms, you know, because it's dark time. So no doors, so they don't want the lights to bother people to, you know, try to go to sleep. So in this one, I can see the lady, what seems to me kind of far away. And I was like, shit. I'm like, I really need to get to this one door. Hopefully I can beat her there. And it felt like a fucking scary movie. The faster I went, the faster she went. So as soon as we crossed paths, bro, I just felt someone grab me. Oh, man, this way. Fucking the scariest shit you could fucking feel.
Was it her?
It was her.
Oh, jeez, dude.
It was her, bro. And the people who worked there, like they worked the night shift. No, güey, pues en chinga llegaron y me la quitaron. Like, just the experience there, bro, like scared the living crap out of me. I had to see the, I guess, therapist or whatever, like pretty much every day while I was there. And I was telling them, like, bro, this is happening. This lady's doing this and that. bro, para ellos era como que
All right, this is
like
where you're at.
this is what happens when you do what you do. Kind of, I guess they were trying to scare me, bro, but I just felt like they were just being dicks.
And you would think they'd be like more supportive to help you get out and like get out of whatever you're dealing with, but it wasn't like that.
Nah, not at all. I mean, I don't know, bro. It was I just felt like yeah, they weren't really trying to help. They were just also it almost felt like well, this is the lesson you have to learn.
And I mean, well, and that's a great way to put it the way they thought, right? But let me ask you this now, like looking back at it now, do you feel like they did the right thing? Like that is what you needed now? Like obviously then you didn't think that, but what about now, like today?
No.
You still think you like the help would have been better than the scare?
Because I'm seeing it as someone who's 15, 14. I mean, they don't do that anymore, right? Where they put adolescents with adults. But if you are 14, 15, whatever, and you're going through things, right? You might attempt to commit suicide. Fuck, bro. I mean, I'm not saying these kids can't handle it because I mean, I obviously was able to get out of it and I don't ever think about suicide anymore. I love myself way too much for that. Anxiety is a different thing, but I don't feel like killing myself. But I'm also seeing it as like, I don't have kids, but my niece is going through something and getting put through that. Fuck no. Like, not that they wouldn't be able to handle it, but I don't know. It's like, I don't see any other kid going through it and just being okay after that. Like, if you're, if you are okay before going into that situation, you're definitely not okay when you come out. Like, there's no way. Yes, I lived in the city. I used to live in the city, and you see some fucking fucked up shit. People get shot, whatever. You see guns or whatever stuff that not talking shit, but suburban kids are not used to, and that's what I feel like my nieces are. They're from the suburbs. They're not exposed to that lifestyle.
Yeah, but I feel like when you grow up there, it's like more like your environment, and like you kind of get used to it. And it's not like they put you in a psych ward.
It's definitely different. It's definitely different.
So
but
it's
I'm saying
like, you know what I mean?
where you have to adapt to survive and get out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you're in the burbs, man, like you don't have to really go through anything like that. Like really.
No, you definitely safe, don't. I mean, the only thing that I was saying with growing up in the ghetto and stuff, like you growing up in the ghetto, like so that is what you know, but you being thrown in the psych ward with adults. I mean, this is not your realm, like you just got thrown in there, bro.
It definitely.
So it's like a shock. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's still a shock, but it's also you get that toughen up mentality.
I think they forced that on you, brother.
Amárrate. You know what I'm saying? Because even if your parents don't teach that to you, the streets will.
Oh, for sure.
So that's what I feel like when I say that. Like I wouldn't want my nieces to go through it. I wouldn't want anybody's kids to go through it. Just because it's if like I said, you go in there okay, or like maybe you fucked up, you were feeling this type of way, and you took it too far.
Now, at what point did you regret it, bro? Like
instantly. So
as soon as you took the pills, you were like, damn, I fucked up.
As soon as I took the pills and I laid down, and I think once my stomach started hurting, I was like, fuck, I fucked up. I definitely fucked up. I should have never done this. But it was too late.
Yeah, you're already there, right?
Yeah, había pasado.
How did this affect or help the relationship between you and your parents? So that were they able to go see you every day? And how was that going forward once you came out?
They were able to see me, but every time they saw me, bro, like I was just in tears. Like I don't want to be here. I don't want to.
You were more focused on like, hey, get me out of here.
I was more focused on get out of there. And once I did finally get out, like I guess traditional Mexican, don't talk about it. That's pretty much what it felt like.
Like, y'all didn't touch the subject. They weren't like more concerned, like, hey, how can we help you? We want to make sure you're not falling into this mentality anymore or mindset. It was more like, hey, you made it out. You're good. Like, let's keep moving.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty much what it was, bro. Like, traditional Mexican. Just kind of like, don't talk about it. We went through this. We got over it. Gracias a Dios. Now let's just keep it moving.
Siblings?
Siblings, I honestly don't remember my sisters really trying to sit down and talk to me or whatever. Like, and also I think myself, I was also trying to like block that from my memory. So I almost also didn't want to like keep talking about it. So I actually talked to, one of my brothers, one of my compas, and he was on the soccer team with me because I obviously went through this. It was over a weekend. I obviously didn't show up to my soccer game. Came back, but I did notice and see people, like, they were kind of looking at me kind of weird, So I was just kind of like, fuck, do they know? Do they know that I just went through this shit? And but I mean, I didn't want to ask. I'm like, if they don't know, I don't want to tell them.
Right.
But I talked to my compa, and he was like, we all knew.
How did they find out?
I don't know. So at this, when my parents went to go visit me, my sister took one of her boyfriends, and then this one other guy that acquaintance. So
from school. So it probably just filtered
at
through
the time. We were very close, so maybe they felt like it was okay for him to go. Did he say anything? I don't know. Possibly, right?
It only takes one person, bro.
Was it my sister? I don't know. I don't know if maybe my parents talked to my coach, my teachers, and told them like this is what he's going through. So kind of maybe give him a break. I don't know.
Did you have to start seeing counselors in school and social workers? No. I'm shocked at that, bro.
I know. I'm telling you, I feel like I had to toughen up, bro. Like, no me quedaba de otra. Like, amárrate un huevo, güey.
How are the people around you changing, bro? Based on that situation, like, and what you've went through?
I felt like at least the first few months, people were just kind of like distant.
Instead of being the opposite.
I don't know if maybe they themselves were. I mean, also we're 15, bro.
Yeah.
We're not adults. We're like, bro, everything happens to you. Like, no matter what it is, I'll be like, compa, you good.
Right. But like you said, we're a different age.
We're a different age. At that age, and yeah, they were more distant than anything else.
Damn.
But like I had asked my compa, he's like, yeah, bro, we all knew. And I asked him out of curiosity, I was like, bro, why didn't you guys ever say anything? Like, I don't think I would have been ready to talk about it, but I'm just curious. So like, why wouldn't they ask me or just even ask if I'm okay? His response was like, bro, like you were the captain of our soccer team. You were like I said, decent student, whatever. Like we all looked at you like
you were straight.
Like you're good. Like you go out and party, at the time, your parents let you drive, like whenever, like what worries do you have that like other people are going through, right? And then when you went through some shit like that, like we're like, what the fuck? Like we couldn't believe it. But at the same time, like he told me, he's like, I ain't gonna lie, bro, we were kind of scared. He's like, we didn't know if like you were to snap. Like we don't know what effect that had on you.
Right.
So that's why they didn't ask me any questions. That's why they didn't come to me for anything. They just kind of left it alone. They kind of like distanced themselves, but at the same time kind of kept me in, because I'm part of the team. But as far as like outings and whatnot, they were just kind of like, we're not gonna tell them, porque pues we don't know cómo anda.
But everybody knew.
But I had no idea, bro. I don't know, man. This is gonna be a short pod.
This is gonna be a short pod. And before you cut it, bro, where are you at now with? And obviously, you mentioned you love yourself now, and we're super happy to hear that, bro. But where are you at with like closure on de esa etapa de tu vida, güey? Con tus parents, con tus siblings. Is this something that you talk about with your wife? Did your wife like stuff like this big in your life, bro. Like, did your wife know before you guys got married? Like, hey, like, did you open up? And like I mentioned, bro, like you and I talked about it briefly, bro. Way back, you know.
Yeah.
But like this is something that you obviously want closure and you want to better understand it or whatnot, right? Have you talked to your parents now? Have you know, like, is this something? Oh, it's just you deal with it as it goes.
So the only way it got brought up, while I was in the psych unit, they because I was an adolescent, they had me color and paint and shit, So my parents kept this one painting. So it was like a puzzle. It was a cow, and I had to paint it. So they kept that, and this is like a couple years later or whatever. Like I probably got mad over something. And they went in there, they talked to me, they're like, hey, you need to chill out, like whatever. Like the only time it got brought up, it was kind of like, you don't want to go back to that.
Like if they saw you kind of emotionally being destructive or whatever, they're
That's
kind
the
of like,
only
hey,
time it got brought up.
like don't go
But
back
it
to that.
wasn't deep into it. Like, what did you actually go through? Like, what happened in there? Like, they didn't ask, and I also didn't want to. I didn't want to talk about it, bro. Because I'm telling you, like, I was like mentally fucked, bro. Like,
But ahorita, like, I'm sure you have a great relationship with your mom, bro. You've grown up, you're mature, bro.
100%.
So, is this something like you feel like you need to talk to her, like, or not really? Your dad, or yes, like you don't. I mean, you're talking about it on the pod, bro. So you feel ready to speak about this situation. But I feel like it's super important to talk to the people that you love the most and that love you the most, because they were there with you for this,
Yeah. It never really crossed my mind to bring it back up with my parents to like rehash, I guess, or whatever. It just I didn't. I just feel it's one of those like, and it's probably bad, bro, and it's probably bad. I probably should, but it's one of those like I'm in a good place, so why go back to that? Because I do talk to people about it, people who I do feel comfortable with, and it's not more so that like I'm ashamed of what I did. I think I'm past that, but it's just more so like I don't want to relive those memories,
Right.
if that makes any sense. And with my parents, it's because, man, bro, like I don't know. I grew up like traditional fucking Mexican. What I consider traditional. We don't say "I love you" to each other, which we should normalize that.
I think we're working on that. No, has that changed for you, bro?
With my siblings and parents, no, bro.
Really?
To keep it 100, no.
So, and it's funny that you should say that, bro. So my wife, when we got married, bro, she would always say hi to my parents, de abrazo y de beso, because that's how she grew up, with her family, her siblings, her mom, her dad. So when she came over and started doing that, like it put me in a spot, bro. Kind of like, well, how come you kissing my mom and my dad? Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, not that it made me feel awkward. It just made me realize, like, yo, like, because now my mom is, hugging and kissing my wife, and like while I'm there, bro, like,
You don't?
well, we didn't, you know what I mean? Like, and it was awkward, bro. It was weird, but like you said, before that, I didn't see it weird. I was just like, hey, mom, what's up? Hey, dad, what's up? And now it's like, yeah, un abrazo y un beso, compa. We say I love you all the time, maybe not all the time, like every time I'm leaving. No, I don't say that, but like you said, we have to normalize it. But we definitely took a step forward on that hug and kiss, bro. My dad also not afraid to give him a hug and a kiss, put a couple beers in me. I'm saying I love you all the time, you know what I mean? But
100%.
yeah, but you're right, bro. We should definitely normalize that, man. So it's crazy that you brought that up. Like, and it's real. It doesn't. Before that, it felt awkward, bro.
100%. Like before, it would feel awkward to hug my parents, and to some people might be like, "Damn, that's fucked up, bro." But it's like, I don't know. To me, I just thought it was normal. Like, you don't hug your parents. Like, I don't know. But
you should definitely work on that.
Do I hug my parents now? Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
Do I say I love you to them? I don't.
Not as much as you want to.
Not as much as I want to. I think and it's fucked up, but the only time I did say I love you to them like on a constant basis, again, I ended up in the hospital. You know, I don't know what I had, bro, but
This recent time?
no.
Prior?
Again, all around that 15, 16
Oh,
age or whatever, I ended up in the hospital. Um, I think I had meningitis. That's what it was.
Okay.
So I ended up in the hospital, bro. I was there for like a week or two, or whatever. I mean, it got to the point where I remember one time I woke up and so to better understand, I was in the hospital, but the only way you could visit me is if you had a mask on because they didn't know what I had that was messing up my body. So I woke up one time and it was only like two people at a time. Algo así. And I woke up, bro, like what felt like my entire family was in the room. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how come we're not doing the two-person thing anymore? We're not doing the mask thing anymore? Like, what's going on? And there was a priest in there.
Oh, snap.
And he was praying and like doing his thing. And I was just like, what's going on, bro? Like, and one of my tias was crying, bro, like holding my hand. And I'm like, yo, like, if this is it, man, just like, y'all better end me another way. Like, I don't want to die like this. So, bro, my tia started bawling. Like, she was like crying.
You said that?
Yeah, I told her that.
The fuck? What would you want, bro?
Well, I don't want to die in a hospital bed, like, little poco a poco, like, deteriorating or whatever. Because at that time, bro, like, I legit lost probably, like, I don't know, bro, maybe like 30, 40 pounds in like a week or two.
Holy crap, bro.
So it was I had some kind of an infection, a viral infection or whatever. And that was one of the times where like constantly I would talk to my mom, like, oye, ¿cómo andas, mijo? Whatever, this and that, you know, the whole because she had to go to work or lo que sea, and she would come right after work during her lunch breaks. But she would always call and check up on me. And then I would always say, I love you. But I think I said it because I thought that was gonna be it. But that was pretty much the only time, like before. But now, I mean, we at least got to that point where at least we hug each other.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
But
and like you said, that's traditional, right?
At least for us, right?
Yeah,
At
that's
least
how
us
it was
too.
for me
I mean,
too, bro.
Just because I do see other families, bro, and they're I don't want to say like the word lovey-dovey, bro, but that's the only word I can think of. You know,
they're affectionate with each other.
They're very affectionate. Yeah, thank you. And bro, it's like with me, it's like no way, we're not like that. Even with my sisters, way no, not I don't. I still to this day I feel kind of awkward hugging them.
Yeah, I 100% feel you on that, bro. Like we didn't grow up like that, brother.
Yeah.
So it's like for those who grew up like us, man, y'all know what we mean. You know what I mean? Like and like what Cheko said, man, let's normalize showing each other affection and love because that's our fams, man. And like, don't take it for granted. We're not here forever. So definitely, you know, take the time to hug and kiss and tell the people that you love them. Tell them you love them. And that's the reason for my question, bro. Behind it wasn't more to rehash anything. It was more or less to gain closure, to gain understanding for you if you wanted it regarding like, hey, why didn't we touch the subject anymore? Or, you know, and maybe they're going to have the answer that you want to hear, bro. Or maybe they're going to be able to explain like, hey, like we didn't know any better, or, you know, like whatever, you know what I mean? Not necessarily to rehash anything, but more to get understanding and closure behind it. I mean, you never know how your mom feels about what happened, 100%. You know what I mean? But unless you guys talk about it, like you will never know, you know what I mean?
And this is just like from what I remember.
Right.
So for all I know, my mom did probably try bringing it up to me and I probably shut down.
Right. And
from what I remember.
Yeah.
You know
and you
I
probably
mean?
wouldn't remember shutting down. You know what I mean?
No,
like at that
I tried
time,
to block
bro.
it. I tried to block everything from it.
That makes sense, bro.
I didn't want to think about it. You know, just because of everything I had gone through.
Right.
But look, like I said, this is gonna be a short pod. This was probably the fucking hardest pod for me. just because I'm talking about something that happened to me, and I'm exposing myself, putting myself out there, like more than just us coming here and talking shit and talking about music or anything else. You know, this is like my personal life, which not a lot of people know about. You know, especially with the pod. You know, we got new friends, and you know, this is something that it's definitely not out there for me. But if anybody is going through stuff like this, I mean, I wish I had like a list of numbers and websites and whatever. You know, I don't. I could definitely Google some up and share that with you, but I can't say that this is what I went through and this is what helped me. Like, I literally did the old school Mexican me amarré un huevo, but that I don't recommend that for anybody, bro. Because maybe because of that, I have anxiety, and this is where our end would have kicked in.
Right,
You
right.
know, where this is where if we had Jane on the pod, like you probably compress that into yourself, and it's like it's finally, you know, some way, some weird way coming out. You know, I don't know. This is
Taking
where they
shape,
come in.
right.
So I don't have those answers. But what I can do is, if anyone is feeling like this, like I'm definitely down to talk to you, like whoever you are. If you're out there and you know, you have our social media, and if you're ever going through anything like this, like, and if you can't go to family, you know, and if you want to talk to me, and you know, I'm a stranger or whatnot, but that's sometimes the best person you can talk to. You know, as far as myself, there's no judgment.
Right.
This is
No, same here, bro. I mean, I don't have any experience behind it, but if anybody needs to talk,
yeah.
definitely here to listen.
And one thing, también is just with social media, don't be quick to judge. I know, I know there's people out there, and you know, I've probably cracked a couple jokes, you know, but it's like when people like share too much on social media, you know what I mean? And there's like memes out there like nobody cares, bro. Like they're probably going through shit, bro. Like low key, they're going through some shit. Maybe that person who's always partying and you see them and you're like, man, it's the way I'm not like every day he's a party animal and whatever. Low key, he's fighting his own demons.
Right.
So as you know, the signs aren't always obvious, bro. Like it's not like I had clear signs and my parents knew this was coming up.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm glad you said that too, because that's something that I was thinking, bro. I was like, based on your life, bro, you would never expect it. And I'm sure your parents never expected to have to go through that or deal with that with one of their children. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So um, like you said, it's probably happening to the people that you least expect, and they're fighting their own. I mean, I don't even know if demons or their own troubles or society is, pushing them a certain way. Um, yeah, so it's scary, bro. Especially being a parent myself, bro. It is a scary thing, dude. Like to hear it from you and like being, the person that I know, Cheko to be, bro. I would never have thought like you would have gone through anything like that or put yourself through anything like that, bro. So that's crazy, bro. That's good. And that's probably the wrong word to use in this situation, right? Crazy, because it's far from it. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
yeah, but I mean it is though. But I don't know, man. I don't really know if there's anything else I can add myself. Like I said, just that whole like be respectful with each other. You know, if you think, like I said, someone's being annoying or whatever, or they're acting a certain way, and you've touched on it a little bit, Compa Noi, where I think we talked at one point like about road rage. Like you don't know what that person is going through.
right.
You know.
Yeah, that's always my mentality behind a lot of things, bro. I try to put that in and apply it, bro, because you don't know what people are going through. You don't know how people are gonna react. And sometimes we're quick to react on something that really makes no sense, dude, or is not worth it. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes you could kind of put yourself in harm's way by your reaction, bro, or make a person react a certain way, and you really just don't know what they're going through, bro. You know what I mean? And like if you're having a good day, try to help others and push that on others, bro, as you go through. Instead of, you're at the register, that lady that's taking care of you, or that guy is taking care of you is pissed off or a jerk, and you're having a great day, like, try to help that person instead of being like, oh, well, F this guy or F that,
Yeah.
like change that perception, change that thought, you know what I mean? And look at it a different manner. Like, you don't know what that person's going through. You're having a great day. Like, try to help in whatever way you can. Road rage, same thing. We talked about that. And one of the things I always remember growing up, bro, my brother, shout out my broski, man. He's always been there for me. And I don't even remember why he would even be saying stuff like this to me. I was obviously being on some dumb shit probably, but he would always tell me like, hey, there's always a solution to every problem. But there isn't a solution for death. There is no fixing, once you're gone. Like nobody can fix that. But if you're going through anything, you have any problems, bro, I'm here to, talk to me, talk to my parents, whatever. There's always going to be a fix or a solution for it. It may not be what you want, but the only thing there is no solution for is death, bro. And it stuck with me, bro. And I don't remember ever being in a situation like that where I wanted to take my life or anything. But clearly he saw something like, this fool's wilding or something, or like just being, But I remember him saying that more than once to me. So just keep everybody out there listening, man. Keep that in mind, man. You're always, life is hard as it is. So just remember that there's always a solution for every problem. But, dying, suicide, anything like that, there is no solution for that.
Yeah. And it's obviously like something that everybody needs to work on. I try to keep that in mind where, like people are going through stuff or whatever, but obviously I'm human.
Oh,
right?
we are human, for sure.
Like, so it's just something that just everybody should be working on and try to remind yourself. And, we all go through shit. So that guy, girls, has road rage and you fucking snap back. I mean, it's not like you're the worst person ever, but at the same time, just try to work at it to not, be in that situation, not put yourself in a situation, but yeah, like I said, other than that, I think I'm done on my part.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Not anything else, but I think we're done for this episode. If we're kind of all over the place, my bad.
I don't think we're all over the place, but I do feel like we left them like all sad and shit, bro. Like, I feel like that. You know what I mean? Like, damn, bro. Well, like down about it. You know what I mean?
It's because like how. I thought about this for like 2 weeks. Like, how do I tell my story, but then also try to make it funny?
There is no funny, but let's definitely leave it on a good note, bro. You're here with us, bro. I appreciate you. Like we talked about on the last pod I was on, bro. We brothers, bro. I appreciate you as a friend, as a brother. We family. And hey, I'm blessed that you're here, bro, and that you're here for your parents and for your siblings, bro, and for your wife, bro. That's huge, man. Huge.
Well, thanks, Compa. That means a lot. Definitely appreciate those words, and you're obviously you're the homie. You're my brother, bro. I don't really have any other words because I'm fucking.
Let's live life to the fullest, man.
All right. I think this is it. This is Compas Unfiltered. Thank you guys for watching, listening.
Subscribe, rate.